It's time to get inside the Giants huddle.
Huddle up, huddle up, huddle up.
On Giants.com.
Here we go.
And the Giants mobile
Get
app.
them in there. Let's go.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Giants Huddle Podcast, brought to you by PSE&G. Energy efficiency for game time or any time. I'm Bob Papa in London. We are joined by the Commissioner of the National Football League, Roger Goodell. 101st International Series game today. The first time the Packers are playing internationally, and you can't get a ticket. How good is that?
It's great, but I tell you, these fans here have been extraordinary. They're so passionate, and they love the game. We see fans coming from all over Europe as well as coming over from the States. And it's just been a real lift to our international efforts here.
You know, it's interesting because the Giants played here in 2007, then in 2016. So there's a pub downtown. It became like Giants House. And we did a Q&A yesterday. And there were more fans there from Denmark, Germany, and France than there were from the United States. In fact, one of the fans blew through the questions to win an autographed Eli Manning jersey. Talk about how this game has grown, not only here in London, but truly around the globe.
It really has, Bob. And the thing that I noticed the most is when we first started coming over here to play, they really didn't understand the game as deeply, obviously. They now are very sophisticated fans. You'll notice they react at the right time. They boo at the right time. I mean, they really understand the game, and they understand the strategy. And that, to me, is a real sign of progress, that we're not just a circus coming in and out. We're really a sport here that people love. And you can see it around. People are coming from all over Europe. People are anxious to have games in other spots around Europe. We're going to be playing in Munich in another month, and that'll be our first regular season game there, and we can't wait. The anticipation and, frankly, the excitement for it's been overwhelming.
Yeah, NFL Europe, spent so many years in Germany, so it kind of laid the groundwork, and now, 14 years later, those fans understand this sport because it's not the easiest sport to understand.
No, they don't. We had a fan forum yesterday, and we were talking about that. We have a few of the former players, but I think that's also the beauty of our game, is that our game isn't just simple. I think there's a lot of strategy to it. There's a lot of elements to our game that is why I believe it's going to be an incredibly popular sport on a global basis.
Obviously, this season is off to a tremendous start. I mean, every game is a nail-biter. Last week in this building, it came down to a 64-yard kick that could have won the game for the New Orleans Saints. Why has this league been able to capture that drama? And it seems to be getting better each and every year.
Yeah, Bob, to your point, I don't think the league has ever been as competitive. This is now my 40th season. I think the league is more competitive than ever. It's a tribute to the players and the coaches and the clubs. And I also think just the structure of the league. Obviously, not only the way we share revenue, but the way we work with our Players Association on the salary cap. All of that combines to make this in a league where you can go from last to first and first to last. And I think that's great for fans because they always have that hope coming into the season. But more importantly, you're seeing these games come down right to the wire because of these great performers. And you can't ever turn it off because I'll tell you, a team can come back. And we've seen it so many times.
I mean, the team playing here next week, the Jacksonville Jaguars, you can make the case through the first 4 weeks of the season, despite the fact that they're 2-2, they've played the best football out of that division.
There's no question.
And Lawrence is coming around. Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl winning coach. They spent some money on their team. You got everybody, with an opportunity here.
And I think that's, again, the beauty of the league today is that we've worked hard to make sure every team has the opportunity to win. And, it's not easy in this league, as we all know, and every game's a nail-biter. And I always say that saying every day you got to be ready to play, and you're going to, if you don't show up, you can lose. And so any given Sunday, and this is us. This is where we are, really.
Since you took over as Commissioner of the National Football League, player safety has always been first and foremost in the initiatives that you've tried, and obviously it's always a work in progress. And I know that you and the NFLPA continue to look at this concussion protocol, and you guys have made some decisions on how to move forward and try to make sure that it's better and better and better. It can never be perfect because it's an imperfect science. But just talk a little bit about that constant evolving of that.
Well, I think the most important thing is to put our medical professionals that include our team physicians as well as league physicians and also independent neurologists in particular, and put them in the best position to make the best medical decisions. That's our job, and let the medical professionals do that. And I believe the medical care that our players are getting now is extraordinary, but we always want to get better. And as medical advances occur, we need to adapt, make sure our protocols adapt. So that's what we work on. We've had several additions to the protocol and changes to the protocol based on what our medical advisors had suggested. And we really think that our protocols, which are being used all over sports and beyond sports, even in the military, because we do keep them to the highest standard. And so player safety is always going to be our number one goal, and I'm proud of what we've done, but we're always going to work to get better at it.
It's sort of like the CBA. It's a living, breathing thing that is constantly evolving. It's not once you signed it, that's it. It's always got to be changed.
We really believe strongly in that. And I think that goes not only in the player safety and with our collective bargaining agreement, and it's with everything we do in the NFL is how do we get better.
Commissioner, we appreciate a couple minutes.
Thanks,
as
Bob.
Always.
It's always good to be with you.
Commissioner Roger Goodell taking a couple minutes to join us here in London. That's the Giants Huddle podcast. Thanks to Commissioner Roger Goodell. I'm Bob Papa. We'll see you next time.